Hello and welcome to the Bluetree Clinics page. I am here with Mizuki today. So Mizuki, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Yes, so my name is Mizuki. I originally come from Japan. I'm 27 years old now. I'm currently working in the financial sector, working remotely from Japan. Yes.
How did you find the clinic initially?
So I was looking for a private clinic, and so I went on Google and typed private clinic in London, and then Bluetree clinic was one of the first one that came up on top. So I had a look at the website and made an inquiry, and then a couple of minutes later I heard back from the clinic already. So I was really surprised, and that's why.
Why did you book an appointment with the clinic?
So at that time I was struggling with my bipolar disorder and the trauma that I had since I was 13 or 14 when I was still living in Japan. And then I have been to many doctors' clinics both in Tokyo and London, but I've never really been happy with the appointments or the medication I was prescribed. So I was looking for somewhere, a clinic in London that I can keep going, so that while I'm staying in London I can feel safe. Yeah.
What were your expectations before you came?
So because in the past I've had a lot of disappointments, I wasn't like I had a hope that this might work out this time, but at the same time I was a bit scared of getting disappointed again. So but the only thing that that was different from other clinics was that I was really surprised by how quickly the clinic contacted me.
Mm-hmm.
So that in that sense I had hope that maybe this is going to be fine.
Yeah. And how did you find that first appointment?
Yeah, I was extremely nervous. Mm-hmm. So obviously I wasn't sure if this is going to be good for me or not. So in that sense I was nervous, and at the same time I was not sure how I can explain the last 10 years or 12 years since I had bipolar, because sometimes in the past I felt uncomfortable so that I couldn't really explain how I feel or what my...
Actually with your doctor?
Yes. So that's why I was really nervous. But then I got to the appointment, and then suddenly I felt really relaxed, so I could explain how my bipolar has been, and so it was really good.
So after your initial appointment, what happened next?
So I saw Mark for medication and treatment, and so before in the past with other doctors I would go to an appointment and then they would just give me prescription. Oh, this would work for you, so I just received it, and that was the only thing I did. But with Mark, he would always kind of include me in the process of deciding which medication to take. So he'd ask me my opinion, so I say sometimes I don't feel comfortable with this medication or this dose or something like this. And then he always explained to me what kind of effect this medication has and how it would function like that. So I felt really
much more included in the process.
Yes, it was really good and reassuring as well.
And you then went on to have therapy after that?
Yes.
And
so
who did you see?
Jessica. So I did EMDR and just normal talk therapy with Jessica. And yes, I saw her quite often, maybe once a week or once every few weeks, and for over the course of maybe 2-3 years. And she is, for me, she's really different from other doctors and therapists I've had. So because usually like before I felt every time I go to therapy, therapists would ask me questions and I answer the questions, but I felt like they asked me questions for them to understand my mental health. So I felt like I didn't get anything out of it. Whereas with Jessica, she'd ask me questions, obviously for her to understand my mental health, but more like for me to understand my mental health better. So every time I go to the appointment, I discover something new about myself or what I have in my head. So that was completely different from the all the other therapy I've had. Yeah.
So it sounds like your past experiences with therapy were not quite that helpful. So if there was someone watching this now and they were debating whether or not to book, given your experiences, like what would you tell them?
I understand it's quite overwhelming, but I would say just give it a go, because once you make that first step, the clinic will guide you through, and you go to an appointment, the first appointment, and you feel relaxed, and yeah, so just give it a go, I think. Yeah.
You seem like you're doing so well now. Do you mind telling us how long that took and sort of what your treatment journey was like?
Yeah, so when I first visited the clinic, I hadn't been well for about 10 years. And with my bipolar and trauma especially, and I also had an eating disorder and some psychotic symptoms as well. Then at the beginning, when I first started going to the clinic, I was seeing Mark once a week, once every few weeks, and also Jessica once a week. And then now I see Mark every couple months and Jessica every couple of weeks. And then I had been off medication since 2018. Fiji was after 1 year I started going to the clinic. And yeah.
And you've taken medication for 10 years, was it?
I was taking medication over 10 years at the point. But yeah, off medication for 3 years. Yeah.
Going to the clinic for about 4 years.
Yes.
So how are things now?
Yeah, my life is so much better. I'm a lot happier than before compared to 4 years ago, and I feel like I'm a completely different person now. And also, I can't really believe how I used to be really embarrassed with my mental health, but now my mental health is a part of me, and yeah, that's why I could go through the pandemic really fine as well. So yeah, I'm really happy with myself.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Mizuki, thank you so much for coming in and talking to us today.